we have to get a fabric that brings together all the elements that constitute national life. This is no time for division. It's neither green nor orange. We are all in this together. What I want to really convey is that out of this disaster has come a compelling necessity. Some would even say an opportunity to do whatever we have to do in those areas very differently. And I'll give you some simple examples. For how much longer can we continue to do our utilities by wire? We have looked at it before. To put it underground is a very, very costly and expensive exercise. But if every year we're going to have to do a replacement of our wires, we're going to reach a stage where we might just as well have invested, made a start in a certain area by doing what we have to do. I'm not in this interview going to dwell too much on the relief aspect, except to say that from my experience over the years, I understand the magnitude of the task and the challenges which any administration faces in responding everywhere at the level which is required. And precisely because of that, it is essential that considerations of politics and of religion don't make what is already difficult totally impossible. We have to build a partnership. I have spoken earlier about the call for national unity, but I want to expand on it. To begin with, the government of the day has a lead responsibility in the whole process of relief. There are agencies of state established to perform these functions, but they're all going to be stretched beyond their limit. Even within the structure of our legislature, there's a majority side and a minority side. The parliamentary system demands that at a time of national crisis, for there to be proper governance to ensure response that is adequate, there must be a coalescence of effort and also of purpose. And I want to go further. Our Constitution doesn't recognize political parties as such. But political parties are a reality of our lives. I would say between the two major political parties and the churches, we have between us a total national outreach. So the churches, which not only have a spiritual responsibility and capacity, also have institutions and organizations that can help in the relief effort. And we mustn't forget that Hurricane Melissa didn't give the churches any favorable blessing.
Yep.
So we have to get a fabric that brings together all the elements that constitute national life, including community organizations wherever they exist. We can't stay in Kingston and plan for the people in Duan Vale and Bunkers Hill and Lambs River without any sort of input from them. And when we talk about the political parties, we have to accept and appreciate that in those constituents which are represented at the present time by one party, there is a significant group that is of a different political persuasion. So while the MP has a legislative and constitutional function to perform in terms of the relief effort, it has to be a cooperative exercise between the Member of Parliament as a leader in that constituency and what we call the political caretaker in the constituency. This is no time for division. It's neither green nor orange. We are all in this together. So, even in the recovery efforts I spoke about utility poles. We're going to have to look at the materials that we use. The zinc, it is no point putting on more zinc without proper battening down, only for the next hurricane to blow away the sheet of zinc that we have just put on.
Yes.
What is necessary is to realize we have to use this adversity to rebuild Jamaica in a more positive and creative way. We have to take into account present day technology. We have to be building not only for this generation, but for future generations, utilizing the unique characteristics of the environment, taking into account our topography and our culture and the best practices around the world to create a new foundation. That requires master planning framework that is uniquely Jamaican and will bless this and generations yet to come. The starting point has to be the establishment of what I call a unique planning collaborative effort consisting primarily of patriotic Jamaicans with creative minds who have the knowledge and wisdom from both academic training and past technologies. And those who are aware of what I might call the spiritual roots of Jamaica, because we have certain traditions and we have certain practices that we're going to have to navigate. A simple one. In so many of these places, the children, the adult children, are no longer living in their parents' home. They have homes of their own in other parts of the island sometimes. So even in terms of preparing for a disaster, not only have we to deal with our shelters, but we have to be very mindful of elders who are living virtually alone.
Yes.
And there is a good Jamaican traditional community spirit, a good neighborliness that we must do everything to foster and to maintain. We have to do some analysis even as we're doing the relief effort. What is the future of Jamaica that we envisage? We have to, what I call, lay a path for Jamaica of the future, which relates to the built environment. And we have to also recognize that nature makes no distinction between parish boundaries and constituency boundaries. I think we have to also appreciate in colonial times, quite deliberately, the development was as near to the coast as possible. Shipping. Take a place like Black River. Black River was one of the most important ports in the world. Black River had electricity before portions of Manhattan. Do you know why? Even after it was no longer being used as a port for slavery, it was the main center for the shipping of logwood, which was used to produce the dyes for the textile industry. Places like Savlamar, Falmouth were places for the sugar to be shipped. Places like Port Antonio was a place for the bananas to be shipped. So most of the development therefore was centered around the coast. No, they had to deal with the interior. Hence the railway. The railway ran through the middle of Jamaica, the spine of Jamaica.
Yes.
It's not by accident. Every parish in Jamaica touches that spine and extends to the sea.
Yes.
But the railway can't be used for that purpose anymore, largely because the whole question of the movement of people. It can't take a day to come from Montego Bay to Kingston anymore by train or by diesel. And also the movement of goods with the trailers, they can't go through the central tunnels.
Right.
So I'm making that point to really indicate we have to do some fresh thinking. And it is not only an opportunity, but is a basic demand for what I might call multidisciplinary effort. Of course, we're going to get some form of international assistance, including some insurance payments in accordance to the policies that we have made over the years, starting with the CCRIP and now with the special arrangement with the World Bank, as a more recent evolution of the whole idea of disaster relief insurance. I must make this point. The business of climate change and global warming is central to Jamaica's survival. Your newspaper has written an editorial suggesting that the Prime Minister should regard it as compulsory to attend COP30 in Brazil. I am sure the Prime Minister in his wisdom must be giving that favorable consideration. In all these things, it's always a very delicate balancing act, and only those who are in the seat know the intensity of the various issues with which you have to deal, and how you make the best optimum use of our time. But certainly in the recovery effort, there's going to have to be a massive appeal for international support from a range of governments, some of which have already come forward. But it's going to be a global effort, and in that connection, I would have to remind how central the mobilization of the diaspora is in all of this. Not only in the materials that they will give to their families, their schools, their churches, their communities, but also to some of the unique skills that they possess. And particularly with the advent of technology, they don't need to be always physically here to be
part of the rebuilding.
To be part of the effort. So I just want to say what we need is what I call a national partnership for resilient reconstruction.